You've worked hard, sacrificed, and finally hit the mark. So why does success still feel so hollow? It's almost like the moment you achieve what you thought would bring you peace, it slips right through your fingers, leaving you more anxious, more restless, and questioning everything. You've been told success equals happiness, but what if that's a lie? What if the very thing you're chasing is robbing you of the one thing you crave most, true peace? The pressure to maintain it, the constant need to prove yourself, the fear of losing it all. It's a trap that too many fall into. So how do you stay grounded when everything seems to be going right? Let's dive into this. If you're truly committed to your personal growth, now's the perfect moment to take action. Subscribe to our channel Motivation Basics and like this video if you're committed to improve every day. Don't keep this to yourself and share it with someone who's ready to break through their own barriers today. Let's stop talking and start doing this together. The unusual thing is that you are able to feel the surface level emotions of happiness and unhappiness while simultaneously being connected to the more profound aspect of existence. When someone close to you passes away, it is possible that you will shed tears. It's impossible to assert that I'm still happy. My mother has died, my father has died, my father has died, but I'm still happy. What does it mean to be happy? Even though you may be crying, you are at peace on the inside, even though there is a movement of melancholy on the surface, which we refer to as dissatisfaction. Eckhart Tolle often discusses the idea of the pain body in his teachings. When facing loss or hardship, it's as if a layer of unconscious pain resurfaces, yet even in that deep sorrow, there is a possibility for peace. He writes, "You are the awareness behind the thoughts. The ability to separate yourself from your emotions, feeling them deeply but not identifying with them, can help you access that inner peace." And then something wonderful occurs, and you say, "Oh great, that's fine," but it does not cause you to feel ecstatic. One of the things that people believe would bring happiness to them is when something positive occurs to them, such as when they win the lottery. Oh, and just so you know, there have even been books published about it, as all of you presumably already know. Over the course of 5 to 10 years, the majority of people who win significant amounts of money from the lottery go through a phase in which their lives begin to deteriorate. They experience an increase in their level of unhappiness compared to their previous state. However, that is a different matter. If you are wholly reliant on the circumstances of the outside world to determine your level of happiness, then whenever something positive occurs, you will experience an extraordinarily intense high. There are times when you can witness someone who achieves something unexpectedly, and they exclaim, "Wow!" That is a sense of accomplishment, but it won't stay for very long. This is exactly what Tolle speaks of when he encourages us to become aware of our attachment to external outcomes. In The Power of Now, he writes, "The moment you accept what troubles you've been given, the door will open. Accepting success and failure as equal experiences that don't define your inner peace allows you to experience the joy of life without clinging to the outcomes." In contrast, when you are truly grounded in the present, success doesn't throw you off balance. I recall a moment when I received incredible news, something that would have made most people jump with excitement, but instead of getting carried away, I simply acknowledged it with a calm, "Oh, that's wonderful." The person delivering the news was surprised, almost expecting a bigger reaction. They even asked, "Aren't you excited?" But I wasn't indifferent. I was simply at peace. When you are not chasing external validation, achievements can be appreciated without disrupting your inner stillness. True success isn't about the highs and lows. It's about maintaining your center no matter what comes your way. Tolle's teachings offer an essential framework for staying centered in the midst of success. He says, realize deeply that the present moment is all you ever have. When you can fully embrace the present moment, no achievement or setback can throw you off balance. The key is to drop your attachment to the emotional highs or lows that success brings, and instead experience it from a place of calm awareness. To add insult to injury, I hadn't heard from her in 2 years, which was possibly a couple of years later. It was as though she had forgotten about me. Therefore, this is applicable to anything, even something as simple as a thing. For instance, I suggested going on a stroll, a trek, or any other kind of excursion. To reiterate, in order to emphasize the importance of appreciating the current moment, even when you are working toward a goal, in order to ensure that the procedure, the action, is of high quality. Something like that is an intriguing way of saying things. It is not because you are trying to get to another moment that you carry out an action. Rather, you are doing it intentionally in the current moment. You are giving whatever action you are performing at this very moment your whole and undivided mental attention. It is the step that you are taking right now, and you are gazing about. This could be because you are on a hike. There is beauty in every direction. This means that you focus your complete attention on the action that you are performing. That is action of the highest caliber. Your actions in the here and now are the conduits via which consciousness flows. It is in this act of presence that success transforms from a fleeting high to a deep, grounded peace. Tolle would argue that this is exactly what the doing in life should be. An expression of presence, not a means to an end. When your goal becomes an extension of who you are, and not something you need to attain in order to feel complete, your actions are infused with a different energy. There is no longer striving, there is only being. Moreover, the peculiar thing is that if that is the underlying condition of consciousness, you have a greater chance of being successful in whatever pursuit you are doing. When you are no longer in a state of desperate need to achieve, you will have a greater chance of succeeding. After that, you start to bring together the being dimension and the doing dimension in the activities that you are doing. Pay attention to the here and now. In comparison to the next moment, it is more substantial. Indeed, you have the desire to achieve your objective. Nonetheless, the present moment is of the utmost significance. A shift in consciousness is taking place. The most important thing right now is whatever it is that you are doing or doing at this moment. There is less significance placed on the arrival and the process of getting there. You are in need of it. It is beneficial, but it is not of primary significance. The irony is that the less attached you are to the end result, the more effortlessly success flows toward you. Tolle frequently emphasizes the importance of surrender, letting go of the need to control every outcome. When you are deeply aligned with the present moment, you naturally move toward what is meant for you without anxiety, without forcing things. He says, the more you are focused on the present moment, the more you are capable of seeing the possibility that the present moment offers. So, how do you stay grounded in success without losing your peace? First, practice detachment from outcomes. Focus on the quality of your work rather than the result. Second, cultivate gratitude by appreciating the present, no matter how big or small your achievements. Third, create routines that center you, such as daily prayer, meditation, or time in nature. And finally, surround yourself with people who value you for who you are, not just what you achieve. These habits anchor you, preventing success from becoming an emotional roller coaster. Tolle reminds us that true success isn't about external validation, but about the depth of your internal state. When you align with the present moment, you become the master of your own peace. According to a legend, a Zen teacher was observing an archery competition in which the competitors were using large bows and arrows from the beginning. There was a well-known archery master, and he was not exactly performing up to his potential, but he was not succeeding in his endeavors. In addition, the master was observing, "Why isn't he doing well today?" The disciple said out of curiosity. The master then made a statement that was similar to this. His desire to win deprives him of power. The fact that he strives to be the best prevents him from being present. If I may put it another way, he is not completely present. He is not fully present in the act of doing, but rather he is concentrating on the result. This results in a decrease in the quality of the work. There is a change here. This mirrors Eckhart Tolle's wisdom in the power of now, where he highlights that the primary cause of unhappiness is never the situation, but your thoughts about it. If we are not focused on the task at hand, and instead consumed by the desire for an outcome, we fail to experience the full depth of the present moment. The pursuit of success, when done with an obsessive attachment to the outcome, will only bring us further from the peace we seek. Consider a young entrepreneur who builds a startup from the ground up. In the early days, they are deeply engaged in their work, finding joy in the process. But as their company grows, pressure mounts and they start obsessing over revenue, competition, and public perception. The more they chase external validation, the more stress they accumulate. However, when they shift their focus back to the passion that started it all, solving problems and creating value, they regain their sense of peace. Their business thrives not because they desperately chase success, but because they are fully present in their work. As Tolle explains in A New Earth, when you are no longer completely identified with your mind, you begin to experience the power of presence. Success does not have to come at the expense of your inner peace. When you are grounded in the present, the act of working toward a goal becomes the reward in itself. It's no longer about the end, but the process. The act of being engaged, fully immersed in the here and now. And the good thing is that not every activity that you do is going to be successful. To put it simply, that is the way things are. It's possible that you have some fantastic plans. Possibly you will never show up. Yes, that is feasible. When you visit Los Angeles, you will notice that all of the waiters and waitresses at some of the best restaurants are actors. But for the time being, they do not have a job to call their own. On the other hand, they are eager to arrive. It should come as no surprise that only a handful do, while the majority do not. Do you consider that to be a life wasted? Absolutely not at all. There is going to be something else. It could be an incomparably superior alternative than acting. But in the meantime, what are the steps that you take to carry out the activity that you are currently involved in? Are you able to appreciate the here and now? In The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle offers us an important insight. The more you are focused on time, past and future, the more you miss the now, the most precious thing there is. The present moment is never wasted. Whether you're serving a meal or pursuing a dream, the true value is in the action itself. Even when you're in a situation that doesn't seem aligned with your vision, you still have the opportunity to be present, to experience life in its fullest sense, right where you are. The key is recognizing the gift of the present, even when the end result may not look the way you imagined. A professional athlete wins a major championship, fulfilling a lifelong dream. The euphoria lasts for a moment, but soon after they feel lost, realizing that success didn't bring lasting satisfaction. Many athletes, after reaching the peak, spiral into depression because their identity was entirely tied to winning. However, those who find joy in the daily discipline of training, the camaraderie with teammates, and the love of the game itself are the ones who maintain their inner peace, regardless of victories or losses. Tolle reminds us in A New Earth that you are not a person. You are life itself. True success comes not from achieving a title or a win, but from the realization that you are part of something larger, something that transcends any achievement. If your happiness is tethered to the win, the moment you lose, you risk losing yourself. But when you connect to the deeper sense of life and purpose, success becomes a reflection of your being rather than something that defines it. What would you like? Yes, okay, an omelette. After that, you bring it to the table and you consciously place the plate on the table you just brought it to. There is a significant difference between this and a waiter who simply places it down and says, "Here you are." Consciously put it down on paper. Being slower than usual is not required. All that is needed is a conscious effort, Afterward, you show respect to the other individual. Is there anything else I can get you? Oh, consequently, you are taking pleasure in even that, rather than muttering to yourself, "This is what I've arrived at finally. I am currently employed as a waitress, but I was always destined to be a famous celebrity." That being said, it is possible that their life will take a completely different path. The essence of Eckhart Tolle's message in The Power of Now aligns with this practice. He emphasizes when you become comfortable with uncertainty, infinite possibilities open up in your life. By surrendering to the present moment without attachment to how things should be, you are no longer confined by a narrow view of success. You learn to flow with life, embracing each step with presence and purpose, free from judgment or resentment. Whether you are bringing an omelette to the table or receiving accolades for a major achievement, the practice is the same. Be fully present, without grasping for something beyond what is happening now. This is why true success isn't just about achievement. It's about alignment. Are you moving through life with a sense of peace? Or are you anxiously chasing the next milestone? Many people who seem to have it all, fame, money, recognition, find themselves restless because they've disconnected from the present moment. When you make peace your priority, you'll find that success, in whatever form it takes, enhances your life rather than controlling it. As Tolle points out in A New Earth, the secret to life is to die before you die and find that there is no death. True success is found in being so fully present with life that nothing, no amount of fame, fortune, or recognition, can distract you from the peace that lies within. When you align your being with the present moment, success becomes the flow of life itself, and you become at peace no matter what the external world brings. It is the performance of the action that is currently being performed that serves as the beginning point. If this action is performed deliberately, it is far more likely to lead to the subsequent thing, whatever that may be. Possible that it's completely different from acting. There may come a day when you will be glad that you were never able to achieve the status of a huge star in Hollywood. This is because you may realize that a significant portion of that is actually very phony. It is not necessarily the case that every single person in it is a fake, but a significant number of them are. As Tolle reminds us, the moment you accept what troubles you've been given, the moment the right action arises at the right time, it's not the outcome, but the acceptance of where you are now that brings clarity and purpose. When you stop judging your present state and accept it fully, you allow the space for true alignment to emerge. This alignment isn't with an external goal, but with your inner state of being. As a result, the next step in the process of reconciliation is to bring together the doing and the being. The practice in question is advanced. During the time that you are involved in speaking and thinking, it is important to avoid being lost in the thinking process, often known as the mental stream. The key is remembering that success is fleeting, but your inner state is something you can cultivate. If you can remain at peace, whether you win or lose, whether people recognize you or not, then you have already won in the deepest sense. Success becomes a byproduct, not the source of your fulfillment. And when you operate from this mindset, you'll not only achieve more, you'll enjoy the journey without being enslaved by the outcome. As Tolle so beautifully says, you are the universe expressing itself as a human for a little while. Stop wasting time and make every moment count in your life. Subscribe to Motivation Basics for daily motivational videos on personal growth. Show your commitment by liking the video and commenting the word grow. Be sure to share it with someone who needs to slow down in life. We're in this together.